Hi, I'm Kevin Matthews, Scottish film fan living in England, and despite how some of my podcast co hosts will pronounce it, this week brings a timely reminder that Craig is spelt with AI in the middle of it.
I'm Dave Gray, and this week I don't promise to pronounce Craig's name properly, no matter how much I enjoy it.
Fair enough. Hi, I'm Craig, whatever,
The worst part is
choice.
you know how hard I have struggled to get it right, and I
Yeah.
thought I said it right for years. Apparently not. I'm sorry, Craig.
That's all right. It's no problem. I really don't mind. I really don't mind. Hi, I'm Craig. I'm Craig, film nerd, English film nerd living in England, and I liked this week's film Buffett. You're making me mispronounce things. I loved this week's movie Buffet Infinity so much that I rushed straight to Temu to purchase a copy, and it wasn't even on there, which is shit. So I just bought like 400 nylon zip ties and a poncho for my dog, which cost £3 total. It's incredible. Love Temu. Satire. There you go, we're doing satire now. Not good satire, but we're doing satire. And welcome to Raiders of the Podcast.
Yay! It only took 8 years to get to the level of basic satire for us. I love how we're growing.
Me too. What did I watch? I watched 2026 franchise entry. I hope my disdain registered with you both there. 2026 franchise entry, Evil Dead Burn, which I know you guys have watched. And yeah, it's awful. It's pretty awful. Like, I hate it more, I think, as an Evil Dead film than a film in its own right, but not by much. I mean, if it had come out under a different title, I would hate it slightly less, but I would still hate it. Like, there were a couple of okay gore gags, but as Dave pointed out when he watched it, like, the gore is kind of hidden a lot of the time or just, just slightly off camera, and it's quite annoying, but a couple of them are solid, and there's some strong visuals, like in the second half. Like, the camera work is really fucking good. There's a scene where one of the Deadites drags someone up onto the ceiling, which is just really beautifully filmed. There's a lot of really interesting camera work as the Deadites grow in number and get a bit more crazy. But other than that, it's a miserable, ugly slog with no stakes whatsoever because I didn't care about anyone, and terrible Deadite performances too. Like, you start to wonder if anyone involved is like, have they seen Raimi's films? Have they seen what the Deadites look like? Because they don't look like this. They don't just look like a guy who's annoyed. They're demonic, and these people didn't look demonic. They just looked a bit angry, and it was. So that was just one of the litany of shit things about Evil Dead Burn. It is the worst official series entry because I think Lee Cronin's The Mummy is worse, but yeah, it is the worst official series entry for now. But they're pumping them out at such a rate now. I'm sure there'll be a worse one along any time now. I know you guys have watched it, so I don't need to ask you. I'm sorry, guys. We will watch that.
I'm sorry too.
Then I watched much maligned Netflix sci-fi movie, The Last House, and I liked it. A lot of people, I'd say 90% of the audience did not like it. It's getting a real going over from critics, from audiences, but I liked it. It is dumber than shit, like The Happening level idiotic, just profoundly fucking stupid, but I think the cast are really game and really likable. Like, I always enjoy Ragnar Mora. There's some really, really strong set design, especially in the second half. It looks pretty great. And there is some really fucking cool creature design. And it's not just a cool looking creature. Like, the CGI that kind of realizes this creature and, it's genuinely good. Like, some people put some effort into this CGI for once, and the monsters look cool and do cool shit, and I liked it. Like, it is profoundly stupid, but I had fun with The Last House because Because it was fun. I know my wife warned both of you that I would say this, but I'm
Mhm.
saying it. I'm saying it where she cannot hear me. Anyone else seen The Last House?
She said Craig is going to say nice things about The Last House.
Mm.
Isn't it good that none of our loved ones actually listen to the podcast? So
It is. It is.
they don't care what we say. This is a safe space for us.
And I feel
did-
that's partly because we're not that great, but also I think Tyler has done a really great job in just scaring our other halves away from listening.
Killa expressed interest in seeing it, so I haven't yet, but that is in my future.
Yeah, I'm expecting a solid Kevin 7 once I get round to it.
I'd 7 it. I think I gave it a 7 on Letterboxd. It's stupid as fuck, but hey, I had fun. My lovely wife, who I recently mentioned, she recently read the Secret History by Donna Tartt, and now she is like even more obsessed with kind of dark academia stories than she already was, because she absolutely loves the story
I
about
am so
kids
sorry.
in boarding schools.
I
And
am
she's obsessed.
So sorry.
It's a known thing that people read The Secret History by Donna Tartt and become obsessed, and my wife is just she joined their ranks. So we went with a first time watch. Strangely enough, I should have watched this many years ago, but it's my first time watch of Peter Weir's 1989 education drama Dead Poets Society. I don't know why I've never seen it before. It was great. It was really good. Handsome looking film. Just really, it's Peter Weir. Of course, it's a handsome looking film. Got excellent Maurice Jarre score. Cast are all on great form. Like Robin Williams. This role is tailor made for him. Like it literally feels tailor made. Like this was written for Robin Williams to work all of his best muscles, if you know what I mean, and he's fucking great. But I think what I dug most of all was the subject matter, because they're interesting themes, like weighty themes about you have these trusted institutions that are meant to inspire greatness in the youth, and instead just corrupt them spiritually, which is something that has always interested me. But it means if I have a complaint about the film, I would say that it is too short. Even at 130 minutes, it's too short, because there's like a wealth of characters that could have been explored more deeply, and a central theme that you could explore for forever and ever. But given that Peter Weir probably we had quite a strict amount of time to put this theme across in his story, he did a great job, and I really like Dead Poets Society, and I'm going to there's so many Peter Weir films I haven't seen. I said to my wife that we're going to watch Master and Commander on Sunday, because it feels like it could be the most perfect Sunday film ever. I got BFI player, so I'm going to watch The Plumber. I'm going to watch The Cars that Ate Paris. Just watch some more Peter Weir, because he was a hell of a filmmaker. Everyone's seen Dead Poets Society, I guess, apart from me.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I mean,
yes.
I think, didn't we cover it while Craig was out? I think we
Don't
did.
think so.
No, I could be wrong.
I can't remember.
Maybe you threatened it a few times. And
Yeah,
I said,
I
don't
can't
make me
remember
stand on my
you
skin.
urinating on the warm corpse of Robin Williams, as you undoubtedly would if one of us picked that for the podcast.
I mean, he does crush their individuality and rational thought for cultism, but whatever.
Dave definitely has another podcast. He's definitely doing
Yeah.
a whole other podcast with some other people that he likes
Just
more
in
than
my
us.
head, I wouldn't do it. Nobody else will tolerate me this long. Are you kidding me? Y'all are
Yeah, I think that was me this week. Yeah, that was me this week.
All right. I had a shorter week. I've been very busy, so I only really had time for a couple things. My niece went on a weird Scott Pilgrim kick right before her birthday, so I watched Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which I love. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I know Tyler disagrees, but he's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It is, you know what? I'm going to go so far as to say it is the best, one of the best movies of the 2010 decade. Said it. I don't care if you disagree. You're wrong if you disagree. That's fine. Nobody's angry about you for it. You just are, and that's okay.
Team
I
Knives forever.
yes. Well, no, I'm team not Scott. Everybody
Yeah,
deserves better than Scott.
Yeah, it's true.
Does if I was team anybody, I want myself some Kim Pine of my own. But that's just me. Everybody knows that's the best girl, but whatever. But it's a blast. It's a good one. And then she made me watch the Netflix show in one sitting while I was watching her one day. So that's a thing
You
I
say make
did.
you? She is quite a small child. Like,
She's
how,
a, she's
what's going on?
well, I don't care. So she'll start it and I'll say, "Hey, isn't that enough?" And she'll be like, "One more." And I'll be like, "Yeah, whatever." And
You're
you
weak.
know,
You're weak, man.
I am like I can put up, I can hold my own against a lot of things, but that child is like, please, and like, fine, God. Oh well. That was about it. That was about it for me. Uh Besides that, I just watched some TV and not a lot, not enough to really get into, you know, except for something I will get into on a very special mini-sode. You can feel my pain. All 4 hours of it.
Well, last week when I decided to pick Rad for the show, my other choice I was swithering on was one of the old British sex comedies from the Confessions movie series.
Oh my
So
god.
so I watched Confessions of a Window Cleaner.
Ah,
And look, Craig, you may say, but I own the box set. They're always available as a choice at some point. British sex comedies were like moneymakers for some time. I think they're interesting curios to always check out now, and it's bizarre
it's because we
who
banned
pops up
pornography.
in them.
There was so little pornography that people had to watch like a whole Carry On film, and I hope that they'll see most of Barbara Windsor's breast.
It's not only that;
That
it's
sex
that
comedies were the
someone.
Euro trash, the staying up watching Euro trash of the 70s.
Yes, and they decided that they would be led often enough by Robin Asquith's arse. So
Yeah.
it's a very strange thing. Anyway, it's fun to watch them because like they go they go a bit further than the carry-ons, obviously, but there's still this strange I don't know if timidity is the word or restraint. They're not really restraint in terms of the the horrible attitudes and just the language used. Because in case you're unaware, Confessions of a Window Cleaner has one guy saying to his assistant, you know, he's got to take over the duties for the window cleaning rounds for a while. Oh, he's got to look after the women. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You got to look after them birds, like you got to look after them. That's it. So every person he visits and does their windows, he has to provide extra services if required. Confessions of a Window Cleaner. Um, it's it's not the worst I've seen. It was alright, but it's yeah. I genuinely, I know it sounds like a joke, but I'm kind of fascinated by those kinds of films from that period now. There was the Adventures movies. There was the Mary Millington movies, which were mainly to showcase some of like Mary Millington's stripping and on stage act. But they
I kind
were
of get it. Like looking at what 70s Britain thought was raunchy is just kind of fascinating because it really wasn't. It was
yeah yeah.
so it's very, very, very British.
Yes, but
Stiff
can you
upper
make it?
lip, not
If you
too.
can't make a cup of tea while doing it, it's obviously dirty to the English.
two people try to be sexy in a small bedroom that is best defined as uber beige with floral patterns on everything else. It's really bizarre to watch. The only one I would highlight is genuinely decent from what I recall. It's been a while since I saw it. There was a film called Eskimo Nell, and it's like saucy comedy, but the comedy kind of is about making the movie. And if I remember right, I think Roy Kinnear's in it. And basically, he's making lots of promises to different producers and financiers so he can get the money for the movie. But every time he's dealing with different people, he's got to react to him in different ways and try and film different scenes so that everyone can get their piece of the pie. That is probably the closest to a proper decent movie.
You can take this as a threat, but if you do one of the Confessions films, I swear to God, I will make you watch Vice Academy 5. Okay, I'm just
Okay.
putting that out there.
I think I've
It's
only
not a
seen the
threat.
first two so far. If I
They
get
get
up to
worse.
speed, that'll work. On a very different note, I watched Mother Mary, and I can't recall if you guys have seen this. I
Not yet.
think I remember like it's definitely Tylerific. It didn't work for me. Just no. Anne Hathaway worked for me, and Michaela Cole, I think is the other lead here. There's basically two leads for the majority of the runtime. Like they're both really good, and they have, I think, very different energies, which is necessary for the material, but also just helps them work really well together. And then there are a few other people who crop up now and again, but it's at its best when it's Hathaway and Cole, sort of dancing around one or forcing one another into sort of agreeing on certain truths. But yeah, I was hoping for more. I keep thinking I like David Lowery's movies, and maybe it's just that I loved The Green Knight, and that's it. That's maybe sort of shaded my bias for his filmography.
Oh, I
And
loved The
I'm not
Ghost Story.
necessarily
That was like my number 2 film of whatever year it came out. I love that one.
don't think I've watched that one yet. And I've
I
heard.
can also fully
about
understand
a
people
couple
like
of
loathing it.
bits.
I've
Yeah,
never picked it because I know that Dave would be in absolute agony. So
I've definitely been forewarned about it for years now, so I'll be ready for it when I get around to it. I watched Queens of the Dead, which is really disappointing, and yeah, it's directed by Tina Romero. I think I've remembered that right. I think that's her name.
Yeah.
Daughter of George A. Romero. It has Katie O'Brien in a main role. It has lots of fun characters and doesn't really do much with them. Like, it's very. I would generously give it a mid rating, but it just should have been so much better. They should have either pushed the humor or tried to open things up slightly, because a lot of it is set in a small club, and that gives you sort of obvious budgetary advantages and keeps the scale small. But it can't do enough to really make you forget that the budget's quite small and people passing by in front of the camera feel like friends doing big favours. Like Margaret Cho's there in a small role, and is it Ricky Lindom? Lindom? She's there in a small
Yeah.
supporting role.
Lindholm,
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I wanted this to be so much better, and I like, if you're going to, if you're the offspring of George A. Romero and you're doing a zombie film, it, like, I think you have to know that you can either smash it or do something so different or niche or just like a personal spin on something that it's, you know, it feels distanced enough and worthwhile enough. And Queens of the Dead isn't that. And unfortunately, name checks Romero zombie films at one point, and that's a bad move. And then last but not least, I watched Deep Water because, of course, I did. It's a shark film. It's directed by Rennie Harlin. It's also part disaster movie because it's another film in which a plane crashes onto the sea. My knowledge of the natural world is dire because this plane crashes in the middle of the ocean, but bits of it land on a coral reef. And I'm telling Vicky, I'm like, do you just get coral reefs like coming up to that close to the top of the ocean, where I'd assume it goes down for miles? I I couldn't get my head around that. That could be a very real occurrence. It would be a hell of a coincidence for a plane to land on it, but that's fine. But I just couldn't accept that. It was also hard to take this film seriously because Aaron Eckhart is a co-pilot, Ben Kingsley is a pilot, and Vicky turned to me near the start and said, "Is that Telly Savalas?" And I
Ooh.
was like, sorry, do you think Kojak, who has been dead for decades, is in this 2026 shark disaster movie?
I mean, you know.
Bless her. And she was like, "Well, I know I've seen him somewhere." I was like, "That's Gandhi." And she's like, "Well, don't take the piss. I know I've seen him somewhere." I'm like, "No, it's Gandhi. He played Gandhi," but she hasn't seen Gandhi, and I couldn't recall what else she might have seen him in. Like Deep Water isn't very good. It's it's not exciting enough. The mix of characters there to be picked off, you know, they don't throw enough just random fun in the mix. You get one grumpy arsehole that you're waiting to see get munched. You could do with more for that. You know, it's not good. The CGI is quite dubious in places. And then there's a point where a shark gets a cable that's hanging from a helicopter and is dragging that and causes some carnage. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, like, you did this better yourself, Rennie Harlan, in Deep Blue Sea, where you just managed to take things totally over the top. So, I think maybe 15, 20 years ago, Rennie Harlan could have made this more fun, but the Rennie Harlan of now is the Rennie Harlan that has now given us like 3 Rangers movies and other misfortunes.
But 10 years ago, if you told Aaron Eckhart he was going to be in this, he'd be like, nah, I'm on top of the world.
Yeah.
I'm huge.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
I've never seen someone
didn't last.
plummet like Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah.
And he was a good actor. I enjoyed him. But
He's
whoa.
you know he's okay in this. He has the he has this standard background. Oh, I heard you were in whatever. I can't remember if it's some the Navy or what. And he's like he doesn't like the attitude from someone though. So he got his ass canned and thrown out of there for his temper flare ups but he's a good guy. But when the going gets tough, Eckhart can take the tough to go, and it's all that, and he's fine with that cheesy aspect of it. But yeah, a lot of the time he's squinting into the sun. And I'm thinking he's perilously close to looking like Thomas Jane in that show.
Eckert must have literally shat in some producers' Wheaties because, like, never does a decent-looking white guy who can act at all have this kind of fall. I mean, I guess he is still in films getting released, but Gene Simmons needed to start a production company to make this, which is strike number 1 against you seeing it at all, Kevin.
Well, I can't defend that now because I've got this image in my head of a cartoon of Eckhart literally squatting over a cereal bowl while some producer tries to eat his wheat. So thanks for that, Dave.
Or Thomas Jane just really upset someone 10 years ago, and they
They
just pointed at Aaron Eckhart and said, "Him! Punish him!"
That
And now
was
we're
me.
here.
This week, we saw the 1986 American sports film directed by Hal Needham Rad. Internationally, it's under the title Helltrack. And the 2025 Canadian satirical comedy horror experimental film Buffet Infinity. Oh, shit. That means I have to describe both these movies. Because it was y'all's week. Oh, fuck me. Okay, I am going to do the impossible, and I'm going to start with Buffet Infinity because I just like to set myself up for failure. Okay. In the fictional Westridge County in Alberta, Canada, two restaurants are fighting for local dominance on local television ads, which brings about cults and sinkholes and maybe the end of the world. This is 100% told through, well, it's not 100% told through TV ads. That's the gimmick. This actually started, the idea started as a YouTube sketch in 2006, or no, in 2020. My bad. I'm getting my years all confused. And they were working on it for a long time. Actually, since Craig mentioned the disc, there is one coming from Vinegar Syndrome, which I'm sure you've already pre-ordered.
Ooh. No, I will.
That
I will.
includes a 2023 rough cut with different ads. So this is the story of Buffet Infinity, buffet that is infinite, fighting with local sandwich shop maker. I wrote down her name, but it's kind of buried in Ginny.
Yeah, Jennifer
Local,
Avery.
yes. Jennifer Joy Avery, yes. And the consequences that spiral out from this little clash of the food titans. I enjoyed Buffet. When Buffet Infinity works, it is really, really good. The problem is it does not need to be 100 minutes long. And it knows it doesn't, because there are spots where it loses the thread of itself in what they're going for. Like, I respect them doing it and going for it, and some of it I think is really good. Some of those ads are spot on. Perfect. The Ahmed's pawn shop bits cracked me up each and every time because they remind me of so many local commercials. Same with the insurance company lady. Some of them are fantastic. And the cast is all game and they try hard, and the filmmakers really do well and they make it work. And this is something that had to win me over because this is a thing. This has been a very specific comedy subgenre for a good 20 years or more now, right? I mean, there was Too Many Cooks, which this obviously been inspired by. What was the one? UHF 60, the Halloween special.
Oh, WNUF.
Yeah,
yeah.
WNUF, and there's a sequel to that, the Whoever's Secret Tape, and there's a bunch of these. This is not unusual. They made these for 20 years on Adult Swim. Even going back to the 1980s, SCTV did a lot of fake commercials. SNL has done a lot of fake commercials are a thing, and they've been a thing through my whole lifetime. And a lot of them suck so bad. So this had to win me over, and it had a real uphill battle, and I think they did really well. Again, when it works, it is excellent. It took me a couple minutes to get into it, but after like the 7-minute mark, I was there. I was along for the ride. But then the last like 20 minutes, they have to break format because it's impossible to stay that way. And I feel they could have done it with like more news segments or something that would have worked better just in their own approach. Because instead they just break it entirely and they're just like, what the fuck ever, it doesn't matter. And I think that's my problem. My one criticism with it is it's too long. My two criticisms, too long, and they don't stick to their own setup. I think the scenes where they break it are pretty good. There's one with one of the recurring ad people that is just like it is melancholy and depressing and absolutely fantastic and out of nowhere for what has come before in this film. I really liked it. I don't think that they really stuck the landing when they tried to explain things at the end. It's just kind of goofy, but this is just a problem with dealing with what they're dealing with. Once you start doing like eldritch stuff and existential Lovecraftian things beyond the human, it doesn't really, I don't think it really works for modern uh modern views these days because we know we're small and insignificant. So cosmic, destruction is just kind of like, well, yeah, okay, no shit. Uh and it's hard to make it work, and it didn't work for me. I didn't think that was funny. It just felt kind of dragging at that part. And that's the problem. But it ends well. I love the last segment, and I love most of it. I don't know. I feel that it's as good as it can possibly be, but when I left, I still wanted it to be a little better. I did like it. I liked it a lot. Don't get me wrong. I think Simon Glassman, the writer director, is definitely worth looking out for in the future. I mean, hopefully he's able to do more after this. He has done some other stuff. He did oh, what's it called? Felt Up. I believe there's I don't know, a TV series. It was a short and then it became a TV series for a little while. Um and those were fine, but this is really good, and this is really, it's trying to do something interesting, and I enjoyed it. I just, again, I just, it was almost fantastic, and it just falls a little short for me. It's still really good. I still encourage everybody who's interested in anything just a little quirky to go look it up. But overall, I wanted to like it more than I did. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. It's good, just not as good as I want it to be.
Well, before I get to the sort of meat of the film itself, not an intentional buffet pun there, but I
Yes, it
messaged Craig.
was.
I messaged Craig after seeing this, joking about bringing up a chance to discuss AI. What happened was at the end of the credits for Buffet Infinity, you see I think it's motionarray.com, and that has some concepts on their graphics videos. You can get some AI voiceovers, you can get sound effects. There's a lot of stuff on there, so that seems to be the main one they used. And I saw other people commenting on the film, and some of them saying, "Oh, it's a shame about the AI," which you could easily imagine with the kind of content that's in the film. But other people were saying they viewed Buffet Infinity as a commentary on AI, something that has come up and then will go outwards and expand and be wanting infinite growth and to take over. So I'm not sure if things have become sort of obfuscated and just muddled up while the conversation around this film has been happening, and whether or not this does use certain types of AI.
It uses 8 images of AI, and the thing is, it's not. This is the problem with the AI discussion, is that
Mhm.
when folks say AI, they mean specific, they mean generative AI. But others are trying to dilute it with other things. And this is Gen AI for these 8 images, but they're done with
Yeah.
a purpose. I would have preferred them to have hired somebody to do it, but it's not the same as, say, Ice Cream Man, where they could have hired somebody
Yes,
and they didn't.
that was my point. That's why I
Right.
did say to Craig, it gives us a chance to sort of discuss some of the nuance that you don't always get around the AI conversation. Like this doesn't feel like a big budget thing. It's a wild presentation considering what's actually packed into it. I know it's broken up in the editing sort of throughout, uh, allowing things to be reused and reworked. But it's impressive for what it is, and it definitely feels like a small scale affair. It's very different from someone who has the money and a position of power already in, you know, whatever you want to class as maybe, the Hollywood structure or just the movie making system. Yeah, just generally treating people with disdain and just using AI that they try to deny until it comes out. So I think it's very different. And I think if people are trying to take a hard stance on things, then that's everyone's individual choice. And I would certainly prefer art to always be done by, yeah.
So you couldn't identify it. The AI was the restaurant staff.
Oh, is that
Ah,
it?
okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's done very
Which is
purposefully,
great.
and
But
it's done to give it that AI look,
Ah,
but it is there. I meant to think I didn't know how to approach it. So once Kevin did, I felt much more.
that also, yeah, I mean, that also feels like an informed creative choice, considering, like, when that photo came up, I'm like, is there something a bit off of that? Because within the narrative of the film, it's like off, and it's hilariously a bit off with what
what's
you're
that
being
song?
told.
There's everybody's too busy for you to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad that actually makes me feel even better because, yeah, it feels like a deliberate choice to use that, or
Well, there
for
was
the
a part
feeling
of
you get.
me. There's a part of me that kind of wanted maybe a little bit more blatant AI as the film progressed to like the third act, as Buffet Infinity found that it actually needed to put a human face to things. But that's where I thought the AI would come in. Buffet Infinity would adopt AI, and it would work as a satirical element. But I did not notice any of the AI at all at any point. I kept waiting for it to pop up and like make me feel a bit sick, and I saw none of it.
But anyway, that's side. I like that, the opportunity to discuss that. But when Buffet Infinity started, within the first 5 to 10 minutes, I rolled my eyes. I was like, another fucking weird Craig pick that nobody will like apart from Craig. And he'll have the super duper limited edition with special gold star stickers. And he'll be like, guys, there's a Buffet Infinity 2 coming. Woohoo! I'll be like, fuck you. But it started to win me over. And by the end of this, uh, like I absolutely loved this. This was brilliant. I know that it's a concept that's been done before, like quite a few times now, in different ways. But yeah, this was brilliant. It still felt fresh enough, um, because of the story playing out in front. And I think it actually does a good job of planting all the seeds throughout the earlier scenes that then, the payoffs start to happen and you join the dots, and then everything becomes a lot more obvious, which just makes it more fun though, and you're really sort of settling into everything, and then it gets quite wild by the very end. And I love that. It's a slow and steady progression. It's almost like you know, it's the same way you would develop a comedy set piece building up to the big frantic laugh fest at the end. The other thing it has going for it though, and I mean this 100%, is that I think I would watch a full feature for any of these individual characters. Dave already mentioned the pawn shop guys. I mean, that was brilliant, and their terrible little songs, and just like try to sell any tat with the little song and dance number that sounded like someone pressed the old Casio keyboard rhythm button, and we're just trying to rhyme, but not really rhyme, but fly through it in a way that was quick enough for you not to pick up on all the non-rhymes. That was great. I thought mostly Rosen, the attorney guy.
Yes.
He was great. He's maybe a little bit too obviously comedic, but it worked really well. And
I
he
understand pain.
he particularly sort of keeps bringing up points that have come up between the clashing of the other adverts. Jennifer Avery, I thought she was great. Played by Alison Bench, who's also, I think, one of the she helped work on the writing because Glassman had a couple of people helping him. I think shape the story. But Jennifer Avery and her sort of attempt to be more and more sincere and just convince everyone it's all for the love of the sandwich and the special sauce that would bring everyone into a restaurant. Is great. Yeah, Dave also mentioned Insurance Woman. She's so entertainingly, like, it's not deadpan. She could do that smile that's, the film didn't sort of do the kind of pretend freeze frame where someone's still holding their grin and looking around, but it just gave her enough time to have that slightly dead behind the eyes look while she's still smiling, even when she's just said like her husband's about to drop the hairdryer into the bath. And no, it's okay because the paperwork's filled in and they'll get repaired. Like I would have wanted a feature for every single one of them on their own little journey, and I still would if any of those characters are spun off into something different. Then I would thoroughly enjoy it. So yeah, this was like, it was really funny and also did a good job of building the creepiness. Might not be the right word, but it's, even while you're sort of maybe a little half step behind as things are playing out. Like if you go into this film completely blind and don't really know what it's about, then you get it, but you're picking up, there's big breadcrumbs put down for you that you're picking up. But I think even while you're doing that, you're getting the sense that things are a bit off, and in a way that's just showing how well crafted it is, and how the the little details in the dialogue and the imagery and just the clashing characters makes it work really well. So this ended up being one of my favorite, like, ever newer titles that we've covered for the podcast. I loved it.
Yay. Oh, I'm glad you both enjoyed it. When we covered the outfit a few weeks back, and I was quite vociferous. I don't get to use that word very often, so I'm gonna use it now. I was quite vociferous in telling Dave like that the outfit was very much my shit. You know, that film is my shit. And I don't want to confuse you, Dave, because I know you're getting on in years, but I'm going to make the same claim about Buffet Infinity because it is also just my shit. I think Kevin knew as soon as he started watching it.
I
It was
know you well enough to know those are both your shit. Your
that
shit
that
is Unlike Tyler's shit, yours has multiple flavors.
Yeah, I have different shits, different textures, different tastes. I think you'd have to be like some kind of excrement sommelier to get, different tasting notes from my shit. I'm sure they're there, but what I'm saying is, this is my shit. Just a different kind of shit. It's kind of weird, lo-fi, retro, textured, dark, humoured, weird shit. Like, Give Me Pity is one of my favourite films of the century so far. Like, this is the sort of stuff that I like, and I think there are two ways of looking at this, which kind of speak to one of Dave's issues with the film, which I definitely understand. There's, like I said, two ways of looking at it. You can how does it work as a piece of entertainment? Like, how much I enjoy it. I enjoy the watching experience, and like a lot of it is massively entertaining. It's very, very funny. It has some of that kind of weirdo Tim and Eric, Tim Robinson energy. It's like really absurd and silly, but it's got this kind of there's always this kind of nightmarish hum in the background of every scene. Like the sandwich shop buffet infinity conflict is so good. Like the passive aggressive bitchiness aimed at Jennifer Avery is incredible. Praying for the return of Scottish Ukrainian sandwich shop owner Jennifer Avery. Like they're not having it. She's Italian. Like the way because it just keeps ratcheting up until you get the Beyond Comprehension burger ad, which is incredible. But when you get the just amazing Hallmark-esque film, The Source of Secrets, I just you mean to tell me you've been laundering money for your sandwich business and doing drugs? It's one of the greatest running gags I have ever seen in a movie. It is like Kevin mentioned, payoffs in this film. There are so many beautiful little payoffs throughout this film that are set up such smart little junctures, and they come at the perfect time. And I love that about it. But I could also say, like, in the second half, it becomes a slog. I could say, like, the pacing is horrible, and I started to feel a little worn down by it. That I felt a bit like that, but also there's the other way of viewing buffet infinity as a piece of art, because when it's not like necessarily concerned with entertaining you, it can give you like the full experience of the viewer, like the in film viewer. So you're watching this unfold, and watching it unfold can be kind of exhausting and kind of pummeling and relentless at points. Like I think there are moments in the third act where this film wants you to kind of feel defeated. It wants you to be like, I relent, you win, just give me a table for two, just fucking stop, just make this fucking stop, because there's a level of sensory overload which definitely feels like it's by design, or it isn't, and it's just overlong and badly paced, or it's just an uncompromising cinematic nightmare. I think mileage will most definitely vary. In terms of the cast and the technical bits and bobs, I think some people will look at these performances and they will see people who are not particularly confident on camera and not really get how brilliant this cast are, because these are some finely tuned performances from everyone. No, they're brilliant across the board, absolutely fantastic. But is it Jennifer Avery? The actress is absolutely fantastic. My experience of local cable ads is just down to like odd bits I've caught on YouTube, so I don't know that much about it. But these all look like perfect recreations, pretty perfect recreations. So I think the work that has gone into capturing the authentic aesthetic of these old adverts is really impressive. But one of the things that impressed me the most was the fucking editing, man. Courtesy of director Simon Glassman. Like, the editing in this film is fucking miraculous. How do you not lose your fucking mind editing this movie? Like, I cannot imagine the dedication. Like, if you told me, you mentioned Dave, like some older version. Like, I was thinking maybe this film, how long this film had taken to be be edited together. I can imagine it taking like 10 years just to fucking edit this thing. It is it's so impressive. Like, I really like Buff Infinity. I think it's obviously a passion project for Glassman, and I think the result is a really special movie. And I hope at the very least, it will find the cult that it deserves, and that the cult that it deserves will not have to like send any feet pics, because, you know, I'd hate to find out that's Simon Glassman's, you know, that's the end. That's what he was going for. But I knew when I read the synopsis it was something that I wanted to see, and it didn't let me down. The third act, as Dave said, it'll turn some people off and it'll work for some others. But I think to say, you know what, go and watch it. I don't care if you're the sort of person who like it. Just go watch it. You can turn it off when you've had enough. But everybody listening, you should go and watch Buff Infinity, because it's fairly unique, even if it follows in a certain tradition. I think this long form version of it it's a unique piece of art that you should appreciate, even if you don't particularly enjoy it.
You want to do Rad, or shall I?
No, I want you to keep describing films to us, like our little
Excellent.
synopsis
Wonderful.
bitch.
In his small town, newspaper delivery boy Crew Jones is a BMX enthusiast with his two friends who also deliver the USA Today, which just, I don't know why that cracked me up so bad. When Helltrack, a new race for $100,000 and a Chevy Corvette, and fame come to town, despite his mother not wanting him to race, Crew falls in love with another racer played by Lori Loughlin, and while they find love waiting to race, Crew finds a way to join this professional BMX race. And that's it. It's about BMX racing. Did I mention it's about BMX racing? I will say this. Almost every moment of Rad is about BMX racing. They bring them into a senior prom to dance on them. The only time they are not on a bike is when he's doing ass slides with Lori Loughlin into the quarry. But every other time they're on a bike, someone's holding a bike, somebody enters the scene with a bike. There are bikes everywhere, and I will give this all praise for staying on theme. I enjoy Rad. It is a fun bad movie, you know. I think the racing scenes are actually pretty good. I will say I think Bill Allen, who plays Crew, is fine. Lori Loughlin is fine. Talia Shire does her best for her few scenes. I absolutely adore Ray Walston, so when he shows up, it's really good. The villain is Jack Weston, who he's one of those actors that was around forever. He's in the original Thomas Crown Affair. He's in Dirty Dancing. He's in Ishtar. He's, you know, he was in so much shit for decades. And he's really entertaining. Again, I'm not going to lie to you and say this is a good movie. It's not. It does co-star Marta Kober from Friday the 13th Part 2 as one of the BMX kids, so that's fun. Yep. You know, it's a cheesy, bad 80s movie, but I enjoyed the shit out of it. I just don't have much to say about it. Is it well made? No. Is it well written? No. Is it a terrible film? I mean, like, maybe, but it's entertaining. You know, I mean, it's almost a shame that the 50s hot rod films, which begat roller disco films, didn't begat BMX movie. Well, more BMX movies. Because that's a subgenre we could have kept going. I don't know what they'd have today. What were those skateboards with the casters on each end, and you had to hula to make them move? Ripsticks. We could have had those in the 2000s. Movies about those, but no, we didn't. We didn't because the 80s failed us by not delivering enough. Not enough fucking BMX movies. Although I do think for the Shires, John Schwartzman, who is Talia Shire's son, and his brother Robert supervised the 4K restoration of this film a couple years ago, because Jack Schwartzman owned it. He's the owner of the film. So every time you buy it, you give all that area of the Coppola family money. So steal it. That's me. It's cute. You should steal it.
Well, this was unfortunately, when I consider how much 6-year-old Craig would have pissed his fucking pants at excitement of this film. This was a first time watch for me. It's so sad, but I didn't have this in my life when I was that age. Is just 46-year-old me had a fucking blast with this film. I liked it, ironically and unironically. Like on the ironic side, it's a peak example of what I like to call the fadsploitation genre. So you take whatever the kids of a Z obviously are into, and you pour that into the most basic bitch template or mold that you can, and you just pray that it sets before the fad dies off. And what I love about these films is like the whole setup is always, dudes, basic shady businessman wants to appropriate a radical recreational activity to make money for the man. He's trying to make money for the man. And then the entire production is exactly that. Like, that's the reason that this exists. To exploit an outsider movement or culture and make money for the man. It's always the same. And it sucks, and it shouldn't be a positive attribute, but it is a fun perspective to watch these movies from, knowing that they are there to just pick the bones of this whatever its basis is. And I enjoy it. I find it amusing. But unironically, I disagree with Dave. I think this is a really well made movie. I think a lot of this film was made with some legit filmmaking skill. Like Hal Needham, he knows how to make a silly and kind of stunt heavy movie look polished and professional on a pretty tightish budget. He always puts like every penny up on the screen. I think he does a really good job here. Gets a solid DOP who has like a million action adventure films under his belt. He gets the editors that made it out of the Towering Inferno in one piece, so that's impressive. They're not wildly celebrated people, but like altogether, it's just like a rock solid team that does a really good job. Like there's a BMX dance sequence in this. It's set to "Send Me an Angel," and it is so perfectly staged and shot and scored and edited. I think there's a professional sheen to this, but I don't tend to see in these fadsploitation movies, and I liked it. I was impressed by some of it, and I dug the cast. I think Bill Allen he's a little wooden in spots, kind of a little charisma deficient, but he's a genuinely likable kind of 24 going on 34 high school kid. I liked him. I thought Lori Loughlin, whatever. She was a standout for me. I thought she was just perky and appealing as can be. I really liked her. And the villains are fucking great. Like Jack Weston and Alfie Wiss. They have a really fun, like, pre-Simpsons Bird and Smithers dynamic going. It was really fun watching them. They're kind of getting increasingly red-faced as the meddling kids unravel their high-stakes BMX merchandise conspiracy. There's a little element of Scooby Doo in this at points. I loved the BMX jerks because obviously we got the good BMX guys, we got the BMX jerks, and I liked them. They do a lot of pouting, they do synchronized dance moves, and I just like this whole like I'm a top BMX rider. This shit is gonna last forever kind of attitude because no one cares. This is a fad. Learn what a fad is. You no one will know who you are tomorrow. And then there's the music. Like I love the music to this film. I don't know whether it's ironically or unironic. I don't know. It's like there's like a synth and saxophone score that is like amazingly obnoxious, but it's like all the hair metal power rock shit in here is incredible. It's just people just wailing about drinking hurricanes and you got to rape a tiger in the eye of a storm to survive. And I'm like, sir, they are riding BMXs. Calm yourself down. Like, what are you talking about? And I love that the lyrics are so interchangeable. It doesn't have to be in the BMX film. It could be in a film about trying to be good at anything. There could be a film about basket weaving, and they could be drinking the hurricane and whatever the fuck. I kind of love those cheesy like power rock songs. To these silly 80s movies. So yeah, I had a great time. Like I said earlier, I would have watched the shit out of this as a kid, and then I think in my 20s I would have been smugly ironic about it. But now, like, I firmly appreciate it on both levels. I enjoy the stuff that is bad. I enjoy the stuff that is good, and there's almost nothing here that I don't enjoy. So I had a really good time with Rad, and Days make me sad now because I wanted to find the Blu-ray and finally get it because it's one of the few Vinegar Syndrome Blu-rays that I passed on because I thought, nah, I'm not gonna like this. Now it's one of my lasting regrets. But I can buy it for far too much second hand because then my money isn't going to get Jason Schwartzman an oat milk latte.
I mean, I bought the overpriced, ridiculously lovely edition from Umbrella. But,
I
give
backed
that.
the Riff Tracks live episode, and that's how I have it on Blu-ray.
I had to wallow in my childhood and pick up that and BMX Bandits. So I'd never seen Rad, but I knew, like Craig said, this would have been a big favourite if I'd seen it at the right age. So I was like, I'm still going for that. Can it rival the awesomeness of BMX Bandits, where they take their BMXs down a water slide at one point? Yes, it can, because it's rad. I'm more in line with Craig on this one. I hope to have a fun time with this. When I saw it was directed by Hal Needham, I became very excited and optimistic because Needham, I think Needham knows that if you don't have a huge budget, as long as you've got the right crew of willing stunt performers and you've got the equipment, then you can make fun entertainment for people. I think, if I remember correctly, Needham was a stunt performer, at least for some time before he turned director.
Oh, a long time, yeah.
Yeah. So like, as films are, I don't know if people ever go back to them often, but he's done some films that still have some great stunt moments in them. They're silly, but they're based around stunts. And yeah, as Craig said, this is about the fad. This is the BMXing, and it, as Dave said, it keeps everything focused on that. Like that school dancing, when I wasn't distracted by, like, those two guys were definitely dressed from the folk who did the V costuming. Like V was being shot at some stage nearby. Like, have you got some fancy suits for two guys at a school dance? Here you go. Wear the V stormtrooper outfits. Okay, that was wild. But when I wasn't distracted by them. I was enjoying the BMX antics. It was good. The the big finale that you're expecting though, it's like I enjoyed that because for some reason I thought it was going to be like a lot closer for the majority of the race, and then it's quite a small track, although it's quite intricate and well done, but it feels like it's in quite a compact space. And then, I thought our hero would get lead, and then the he's not really a bad BMX cyclist really, but the cool champ guy who's due to win it, I thought he would then take it, and there'd be back and forth like that, and
It'd be a
others
sweep
would
the
be,
leg moment.
yeah, and others would kind of fade it in the background. And then when I watch, I'm like, no, everyone's really close in the back, like right there. Like by the time you get to the major point of whoever crosses the finish line, there's loads of them inches behind them just piling through, which I'm sure is exactly how many big BMX events finish. But for the sake of that kind of cinematic moment, it was very strange and amusing.
I did like that the not bad guy he went and said, "Hey, that was a good ride at the end," just because the moment where Johnny does that to Daniel in the Karate Kid is like a really special moment for me that I've always like deeply loved. I don't know what it is about that moment. Like, oh, it's not that bad after all. And I just love seeing like another film just like borrow that moment, I guess.
Oh, I meant to mention this. You know the guy that played the bad guy in Rad was an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had
The
two.
bad guy or the not
gold medal
really
for
bad.
pouting.
No,
It's like,
no,
Bart.
the Bart. Yeah, Bart Taylor is played by Bart Connor, who had two 1984 Summer Olympic gold medals for gymnastics.
Like
Oh.
now, I could
Yeah.
be misremembering already because some hours have passed since I watched it. But throughout the film, though, I don't think Bart is actually that antagonistic, like to crew. I think it's a case of, oh, I'm with my crew and we're the BMX badasses that are going to win this. But it's not, it's not on the same level to me as anything like Karate Kid. You've
I mean,
got the
he's
guy
no
with the
Johnny.
money.
It'd be good if he was
Yeah,
a Johnny, but
exactly.
yeah.
But I know what you mean in terms of like you could have a few extra moments that would then be turned around in time for the finale. But I kind of liked that it was left to the folk running the competition, and they're ridiculous. Like, oh, you need a sponsor. Oh, you need sponsored by a company that has earned so much. And they're trying to like add an extra paragraph on each page of the rules. Oh no, you need sponsored by a company that's sold £50,000 worth of products and has
Why did they
someone
just
on
add
the
another
board
one?
named Heathcliff. I know.
I mean, they're taking the piss. They might as well just have him turn up on the day. Like, oh no, you've got to. I don't know. I don't know. I've got nothing. Add some more. Keep fucking this kid over.
And then you get, hey, t-shirts. Like, all right, yeah, you got to sell that many t-shirts. That's fine. But you get plucky kids working together to make funky t-shirts, and that's fine. And it gave us the moment where Laurie Loughlin explains to Bella Allen's character how sponsorship works, and the guy walks past me, Coca-Cola plastered all over him. She's like, "See, he's sponsored by Coca-Cola." Like, how dumb is our lead if you can't figure that out? Yeah, like this is silly. It's fun. Um, I do think there's plenty here. If you enjoy BMX action, and I think when this came out, folk who were into their BMX bikes, I never got a BMX bike. I had had big chunky bikes. Like I still got some secondhand like big chopper at one point, and that was already an antique. That was mine. You can go up on a ramp on that thing because you couldn't bring the front wheel up, so it was like riding a Harley fucking Davidson. So you went up a ramp, the front wheel just went down, you pitched head first over it, and then you ran away to never play with the local kids again because they saw you just
Aw.
headbutt the ground on a massive chopper bike. But you know, I don't sit up most nights and think about that traumatic memory. So I do think I think BMX fans should have enjoyed it then. I think they would still enjoy it now. It's dated, it's cheesy, it's still good fun. So I'm glad neither of you were pained by it. I'm glad that Craig and I are having a bit of a mutual love fest this week because he really enjoyed this and I really enjoyed Buffy Infinity. So I'm kind of, you know, I miss our little Tyler when he's not here, but fuck him, he doesn't get to piss on our parade this week. So because Tyler would be like, guys, I like bikes, but there was no grit in this bike movie. There was nobody forced to be a prostitute for their own uncle while they're waiting on a baggie of heroin.
I mean, that got cut out. Okay, obviously, that's why Lori Loughlin was there, because she just shows up and she's wearing like some 70s NHL uniform. I think that there was an NHL uniform that was exactly like that just is mocked still today. And there she is, and she's not even right. She's not even racing. Why was she there? I don't know, but she was there with Mongoose. Everybody was there with Mongoose.
It kind of has a sweet and innocence to it, right? You know what I mean? Like when he's having that moment at the start where he's being chased by the cop played by H.B. Haggerty, and the cop's kind of smile and be like, "Oh, I almost got you this time," and that was like that. Normally, you would have the cop being the proper, like extra enemy, and not to mention the fact he's riding his BMX up all of those piled up logs, and I thought it was going to segue into a complete Final Destination moment, but not logs firing off, just someone getting trapped in those logs and turned into paste. But you know, I even like that. I like the fact that the cop was the kind of goofy grin and wink cop, be like, oh, he rides about on that bike all the time, but he's a good kid.
I'm imagining Talia Shire doing a kind of a montage of her just sucking cocks to pay to pay for his what do you call it, to get him into the competition.
His wow, you win places.
Is that just to make it the Tyler cut?
Very
Yeah,
Tyler-esque.
you get Tyler's cut. You get his vote then.
Yeah. Cruz just hustling bags of coke in his butt on his BMX. He's jumping the border, doing, spinning his front wheel at 360. Yeah. I'd watch that movie still. I'd still be like, yeah, Crew, woo! I won't lie. It's time to pick one. And it's Buffet Infinity for me. I enjoyed Rad. But it's
same for
Buffet
me.
Infinity.
Buffet Infinity, but I enjoyed Rad so much. Good pick, Kevin.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. I also congratulate Kevin on his pick, but Buffet Infinity just yeah, it was, as I say, I loved it.
All right. So, well, shit, Tyler's not here, so he won't be hurting us next week either. Kevin, do you know of something you want to share with us, or should I just throw two out in rapid fire, which will be fun for me?
Oh, well, I can pick one.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
I'll
Yeah.
give
Go
one.
for it.
Yeah, I'll go for it. You may regret this.
I'm
But,
already due.
I'll go for it. Yeah, that's fine. Do you want to regret it?
Sure. Let's.
Yeah, that's fine. Look, it's long. It's disastrous. It's airport.
Oh boy. Yay! You did it to me. You did it to. Okay, I'm having a hard time picking. Since you won't be here, I'm going to do something in my wheelhouse, Craig. But you can help 1 or 2.
2.
Okay, we will not be watching The Mangler, which I have a soft spot for, and I have that beautiful Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray. But we will be watching that probably in October. Prepare, Tyler. Instead, we're going to watch Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Oh, I love that film. What's
Okay, well
the
then never mind. I'll
Mangler?
hold off on that then. Fine. Yeah, I will do you a solid. I will wait.
I also
That
think
can
we've
wait
done
too.
it, you know.
Have we?
I
thought I
think we've done
checked.
Slumber
I
Party
didn't think we.
Massacre
I thought
2.
we did 1. Did we do 2 also? I thought I
I
checked.
don't know.
I will check the list.
Go
Well,
on,
then-
check the list.
Yeah, check
List
the
bitch.
list. I thought we
Unnecessary.
did. I'm sorry.
We have covered Slumber Party Massacre 2 according to
Oh shit.
the list.
I remember
You see,
doing
when I
1.
say we've
I
done a
totally forgot
film-
doing 2. Okay.
When I say we've done a film, we've done
We-
it. You,
we've
I'm
done-
not
okay.
just
We
pulling
still
random
haven't
films
done
out of my
Police
ass.
Story,
We've done
Craig.
that. We've done
It
that.
has
We've done
not
that.
happened.
And it's not going to happen. Oh yeah, that's true. You were wrong about that one.
Okay.
Well,
Whatever.
shit. Now I don't know. Now I thought I had stuff, and now it's like I don't know.
May I interest you in one of the other airport movies, sir?
No, you can't. You most certainly can not.
Something from the flight-based disaster menu?
No, we're gonna go with. I'm gonna go with another one of my unopened Vinegar Syndromes. We're gonna watch Baker Bacterian, aka Panic. Yeah, this feels right. Yeah.
What?
Bakterion, Bacterian.
Okay.
I have no idea what it
Okay.
is. It's just, I get Vinegar Syndrome every month, and I have like this increasing stack of unopened Blu-rays. I should open some of them.
Dave
Right?
getting Kevin getting Vinegar Syndrome from all sides now.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
No, I mean we could do Fulci instead. I mean I got like a ton of stuff.
No,
Actually,
it's
no.
fine.
Hold on. I think I know what I want to do. Let me double check to see if we've done it. I'm gonna do. This is gonna be absolutely. Hold on.
Airport 1975 by any chance?
Let's find the Raiders list.
Dave's going to erase his shame.
No, I'm going to make my shame so much worse. If we haven't done this, and this is one I remember fondly because it used to be on TV all the time. Okay, lists.
The Concorde, which is also known as Airport 4.
No, thank you. I've seen the airport movies. I'm good. Sci-fi. Oh, we haven't. Oh, I am so sorry, Tyler, in advance. Okay, hold on. Let me make a note. I'm going to go with the 1988 sci-fi adventure film Alien from LA, which is another Vinegar Syndrome I have waiting to be opened.
Yay.
Albert Pune.
Mm-hmm. I went deep cut with it. We're ending this month with low budget movies.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have our buddy John Horgan guesting. John is making us watch Gut Boy. Craig has given us the lovely. Oh, wait, you changed it. What was it again?
I
I'm sorry.
did give you Treasure of a Ninja, but then I swapped it to Scott Ryan's The Magician.
Right, The Magician. I am going with a Japanese film called Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes, which is a favorite of mine.
If you enjoyed this podcast, then you should enjoy other episodes that we have done and find them wherever you find podcasts. Like, subscribe, give us a rating, give us love. You can email us at raidersofpodcast@gmail.com. We do welcome compliments, suggestions, some insults. That's not a problem. There's a YouTube channel where these episodes and minisodes go, and sometimes I very occasionally put a little video on there. We're on Blue Sky, I think.
We are.
Facebook and on Instagram we are Raiders_of_the_podcasts. Feel free to reach out and touch us in completely consensual, safe social media ways.
Woo.
As always, thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks for listening. I'll
See you
talk
next
to you
week.
next week.
See ya.
Woo.
What the hell was that?